by Richardson. Brand with good hustle. And Orlando has numbers here. Davis off the bounce, and Glenn Davis showing a little skill with the dribble.
Such a good offensive player. I mean, his mid-range is so outstanding. Developed at Boston in the pick and pop scenarios, but he just is a guy who knows how to play.
There's Brand working against Davis. They repost it to Elton Brand, who moves on Davis. 6 on the shot clock. Brand with another touch. Well, he touched it 3 times, Doris, and finally knocked it down.
Yeah, good job staying spaced.
4 points for Elton Brand. A guy that's really adjusted his game over the last couple of seasons here in Philadelphia. Davis, a bit of a heat check maybe. And back come the 76ers leading by 5. Turner on the move. Brand with a blow-by, and he draws the foul. Elton Brand has had some issues with his hands. He's had some thumb injuries over the last couple of months, and at times it's precluded him from, Doris, making Howard's been quiet offensively in the 3rd quarter. Duhan over to Nelson. 3 on the shot clock, and they turn it over. Meeks on the move. And he's fouled by Duhan. Good transition by the Philadelphia 76ers. That's a 3rd foul on Duhan. And a timeout on the floor. The Orlando Magic weathering the storm here in the third for sound.
You want to be on TV? Yeah. That was a good movie on the White. You got it to him? Yeah, that was a nice move, though. That was a good move. I'm going to steal that.
Well, you take a look at Iguodala. You see him wearing the protective glasses. A couple of games ago down in Miami, he was poked in the eye in the 3rd quarter by Mario Chalmers and had to miss the rest of the game. But the good news is that the eye is okay, and he expects it to fully heal in the next couple of days. A little bit bloodshot, Doris, when we had a chance to sit and talk with him earlier today.
Yeah, it certainly looked painful. Had to have some eye tests done, making sure there was no retina damage. He said he thought he lost his eye. How scary is that?
Tied at 58 after the Meeks free throw.
Well, the Sixers are just 5 for 16. So Orlando is doing a good job defensively in this quarter. The other thing they're doing is Orlando's 2 for 4. Let's remember, Orlando gets 33% of their points on the season from the 3 line. So that's an important part of their arsenal.
Nelson splits the double team. Howard with the rebound, fouled underneath by Iguodala. It has been a quiet 3rd quarter offensively for Dwight Howard, still with just 2 field goals on 9 attempts. Do you think they've gotten him the ball enough? Dwight Howard, do you think he's touched it enough at this point?
Well, you wonder with the misses he's had. You know, are they reluctant to go there? Are they aware of what his back situation is? Or
he's only had 1 attempt.
And I've talked about how hard Brand has battled him.
Gets a touch here and goes quickly with it. Knocked out of bounds off of his leg, and it's Philadelphia basketball.
And they've been consistent with their defense. The only time they have come with a double on Dwight is as soon as he puts it on the deck, and then the double comes quickly. And they're anticipating the double, so they're doing a good job of it.
And for the 76ers to take the lead here. Under 1.5 to go in the third quarter. Meeks for the lead. Got it. Jody Meeks, who's now trying to be a prolific scorer off the bench in the last month, a 38% three-point shooter.
Well, the good thing for him is his role doesn't change. His job as a starter or off the bench is to make shots, and he's got to go.
Here's Davis. Great spin move on the play and a strong finish. What a quarter it's been for Glenn Davis. He's got 21 in the game.
Nobody in the white jersey has been able to deal with Glenn Davis.
13 points in the period, Doris. Philadelphia leads it by 1. Lou Williams trying to get free. Good defense by Orlando. That's been one of the big changes here in the third quarter. Howard with the block out. You even notice a lot of Dwight's rebounds are below the rim tonight. It would indicate maybe he's not at 100% health. Foul on the wing on Thaddeus Young. With 25.6 to go in the third quarter. That's going to send Glenn Davis to the free throw line. Davis a 67% free throw shooter. As I said earlier, you know, Stan Van Gundy telling us, Doris, that he doesn't run a lot of set plays for Glenn Davis. His points are off pick and roll game stuff and just finding it himself.
Well, yeah, exactly what I've been saying. He knows how to play. In the first half, we saw him make himself an option. A couple times guys have picked up the dribble. He just gets to the open spot on the floor, makes himself an option. He can create around the rim as he did the last possession. And his free throw percentage sort of reflective of the Magic free throw percentage. For a team with as many good shooters as they have, 64% as a team. Obviously, Dwight's 48% is a huge part of that.
Glenn Davis has 15 points this quarter, almost outscoring the 76ers, who have 16 this period. About a 2-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Iguodala, the lone 76er All-Star out front. Good defense by Richardson. 3 on the shot clock. Williams back rims it. Out of bounds. And that's the end of the third quarter of play, and a good third quarter for the Orlando Magic, who mount a comeback in the face of some harsh circumstances.
We were down 12-2, and then we came out and got hit with a 15-7 run or whatever. So our starting units has really put us in a bind by not being able to score.
Glenn Davis is really hurting you. He has 23 points in the game, 15 points in that third quarter. What do you have to do different defensively?
Well, you know, we got to try to be able to guard. But if you double team him and then you're leaving somebody open, they got the three-point shooting, and you got to keep a big body on Dwight Howard. We just got to do a better job.
Thanks for your time, Doug.
Thank you.
Mark, back to you.
Well, Doris, on cue, when he said keeping a big body on Dwight Howard, that's something they failed to do on that last sequence. Howard with the follow dunk off the rebound. He's got 11 points and 15 rebounds now. Orlando leading by 3.
Glenn Davis getting a rest.
Richardson knocks down the long ball. Remember, this Orlando team has attempted more threes and made more threes than any team in the league. Although they've only made 4 of 15 before that last one, they can still score it.
Yeah, I mean, again, 35% of their attempts come from beyond the arc, and 33% of their points come from there. So it's an important piece, and they've been much better in the second half.
Thaddeus Young had to go halfway down and out. Here's Duhon. Howard only had 1 field goal attempt in that third quarter. They go right to him here and gets his second field goal to go. Howard with his 43rd double-double of the season, and a timeout called by the 76ers. An inauspicious beginning to the fourth quarter, and 11-0 Orlando. Talk about 76ers offensively. Lou Williams, one of the top fourth quarter scorers, Doris, missing on that attempt out of bounds. And they're going to call it Orlando basketball. A little bit of an issue as to how they free him up late in games.
Well, we talked to him about that earlier because teams are sending multiple defenders at times to trap him and let somebody else from Philadelphia beat them. Remember, 22 points total in the last game in the second half by Philadelphia. They've got 0 points in the fourth and 16 total in the second half. Let's see if they can get it going on the offensive end.
In 5 of their last 11 games, they've failed to hit 80 points. Howard with the block, but there's a foul on the play against Earl Clark. Lou Williams in some very select company, Doris, when it comes to fourth quarter productivity.
He's been one of the best in the league, there's no doubt. And they run their offense through him and have from the outset of the season in the fourth period.
Everybody wants to ask when it comes to Philadelphia, with a team that has so much balance, so many different players in double figure scoring and the leading scorer coming off the bench, who do you go to in crunch time? Who's your quote-unquote go-to guy? And is that a problem when you come down the stretch?
Well, he's as close as they have. And he talked about having a specific conversation with Doug Collins about this in the last couple of days. And Doug saying, listen, you know, we might have to start to get other people involved. If teams are sending multiple defenders at you, we'll move the basketball.
Williams guarding Duhan. Howard hands it off to Redick. Gets it back and is fouled going to the bucket and grimacing once again in pain as he limps towards the free throw line. Now, we've watched Howard throughout the years. He doesn't seem to have his usual acceleration and explosion.
No, exactly. That looks different as he moved to the rim.
Surprisingly, 5 of 6 from the free throw line tonight. 49% free throw shooter on the season. If you're just joining us, the Magic playing without Ryan Anderson once again tonight, who's out with a sprained ankle, hopes to rejoin the team in the next couple of days and get back on the floor. Hedo Turkoglu out for the next couple of weeks, the result of a fractured bone in his face after taking an elbow from Carmelo Anthony in their last game against New York.
Had surgery this morning, Hedo Turkoglu. They're saying it looks like 3 weeks, perhaps.
That with just 11 games to go in the regular season. 10 after tonight for the Magic. Right now leading by 8. Williams on the baseline, fouled by Earl Clark. Doug Collins wired for sound during that last huddle.
We got to have some fight in our belly. I mean, whatever, we got to fight. Our back's against it now. We got to fight. And we can't do it in one play, one stop, one score, stop, score. But we got to get something easy. We're working against a set defense every single time down the floor.
And that's what they're doing right now against a set half-court defense. Thaddeus Young with the finish. Van Gundy wanted the clear out against Young, but instead it'll be an and one for the 76er.
But even that play, look at how hard. This is under duress of the shot clock, and look at the shot he's got to make. Come on, that's a foul. No, that's absolutely a foul before.
And Young at the free throw line, a 77% foul shooter. Cuts the lead to 5.
We talked about it. This is not a team that can dig in and execute against a half-court defense. They're at their best when they're creating off their defense.
Here's Howard. Once again, the handoff to Redick. Boy, Andre Iguodala is a stifling perimeter defender. He keys their defense, doesn't he?
Wow, he just is so long, gets down in a stance, one of the most versatile guys. Boy, when he wants to be, he can stay in front defensively.
Duhan has it passed and picked off. Thaddeus Young going to get an easy one. And the lead is down to 3.
Message delivered from the coach, right? We got to show some fight, and we got to get some things that are easy. And they do exactly that.
Young has scored the last 6 in a row for Philadelphia. Howard rolls the hook up over Brand, no good. And a chance to pull to within 1. Williams with the pull-up. And Clark with the rebound. Richardson for three. That's just the way Orlando likes to play it. Iguodala with a nice hesitation.